Welcome back to the channel with Generation Pips with another weekly Forex analysis video. I'm Eli, grab your coffee, let's go ahead and hit these charts. Alright, so the first thing we're going to look at is Euro AUD on a weekly time frame. We can see that price is in a sideways range. Pretty much price is moving from resistance, which is at the top, and support, which is at the bottom. Right? So we're going to see that price last week had a big bearish engulfing candle. So we're going to drop down to the daily time frame and see if there's any opportunities. And on the daily time frame, we can see that price is forming somewhat of a double top. So you got top one, neckline, top two. So what we want to do with that pattern, that formation, is potentially wait for a break and a retest at this area. So we have had the break here. So we'll drop down to the 4-hour time frame this week to see if we can get an entry signal, which would be a bearish pin bar, evening star, bearish engulfing candle, and we'll go into a short position potentially this week on Euro AUD. We're going to look at is going to be Euro NZD. It's going to be very similar to the last pair we just looked at. Price is in a sideways range, which we talked about last time. Price is respecting resistance as well as respecting support for the time being, right? So we see that last week had this big bearish candle, so we'll drop down to the daily time frame to get a closer look at that action. So daily time frame, we can see very similar to the last pair. We have a double top, so you got top one, neckline, top two. So same thing, we're going to wait for a breakdown of this last low and then get a retest on the 4-hour to potentially give us an entry to go short on Euro NZD going into this week. We're going to switch gears a little bit and go into some of the dollar-based pairs. We have USD CAD on the weekly time frame. Price was in a range for a very long period, which was 2 years pretty much. We had that strong breakout, and we can see that with this here. And we'll just wait to see if we get a potential pullback to go long off of this resistance. Well, let's drop down to the daily time frame and see if there's any potential trade opportunity. So in the daily time frame, we can see that price did form this low. It was in a range. We had a quick spike up. This was due to a lot of the news that we had with tariffs with the US and Canada. And then price shot back down to this daily area of support. So what I would like to see is if price can break down from this daily, pull back on the 4-hour and give us an entry to go back down to that weekly support, which was previous resistance. And that's going to be USD CAD. Last pair we're going to look at is going to be USD CHF on the weekly time frame. We can see that price is also in a range with resistance at the top and support at the bottom. For some of you guys that are newer traders, I'm going to explain what resistance means. I know I've said it a couple of times in this video. So resistance is just an area where price is failing to break higher. We have a lot of selling momentum at these resistant areas, which we can see that price sells down to the bottom. And then by support is the exact opposite. We just have a lot of buying pressure at these areas where price is pushing to the upside. So when we are seeing ourselves in a sideways range, we want to be looking for potential reversals or sells at these resistant areas, especially if we're on time frames like the weekly, which hold more weight than some of the lower time frames. So we're going to drop down to the daily time frame. If we zoom out just a little bit, we can see that the daily is pushing to the upside. It met this weekly area, and it's starting to kind of slow down that bullish push that it was having. So for me going into this week, what I'll be waiting to see is if price can potentially break down below this daily low, retest on the 4-hour, and get my entry back down to this previous daily low. And that's going to be USD CHF going into this week. Well, thank you guys for tuning into this week analysis video. For more content, follow us on Instagram. That's going to be at GenerationPips. Remember to subscribe and hit that like button if you really enjoyed this video. And drop your comments below. We'd love hearing from you guys. Well, stay tuned for next week's analysis. And as always, happy trading.